Barack Obama just dropped a political bombshell, and it's aimed squarely at Republican efforts to gut the Affordable Care Act. In a tweet that's lighting up the political world, he warned that this isn't the loud repeal fight we saw before. It's happening in the shadows. His message was blunt. We can't let them.
And the reason some people think, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in being pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good, because it was my economy.
But this warning lands at a moment when Donald Trump and his allies in Congress are actively reshaping key parts of Obama-era policy, from healthcare to symbolic acts that quietly rewrite political history. The fight over the ACA is now part of a broader battle over legacy, influence, and the direction of the country. For over a decade, repeal attempts have failed. But now, Obama says the playbook has changed. Instead of tearing down the ACA in one vote, they're quietly chipping away at it, hoping Americans won't notice until it's too late. The stakes? Millions could lose affordable health care, and the timing is critical. The subsidies keeping premiums low expire at the end of 2025. If Congress lets them die, prices will spike, coverage will vanish for many, and hospitals will be pushed to the breaking point. Before we dive deeper, make sure to like this video, subscribe to African Web, and turn on notifications so you never miss stories that directly impact your wallet, your healthcare, and your future. The Affordable Care Act has survived more than a decade of repeal attempts, but it faces one of its most serious threats yet. Republicans in Congress are now aiming to weaken the law by letting enhanced federal premium subsidies expire at the end of 2025. These subsidies, first expanded in 2021, have kept premiums affordable for millions and boosted ACA signups nationwide. Without them, coverage costs could skyrocket, forcing many families to drop their insurance altogether. Medicaid could also see cuts, further straining hospitals that would still be legally required to treat patients regardless of their ability to pay. In states that have experimented with stricter requirements, like proving employment every 6 months, thousands have lost coverage due to bureaucratic hurdles rather than actual ineligibility. Obama's warning is rooted in this reality. Small, quiet policy changes can have massive real-world consequences. And when healthcare becomes unaffordable or inaccessible, it doesn't just hurt individuals. It ripples through entire communities, driving up costs and reducing care quality for everyone. These policy battles aren't happening in a vacuum. They're unfolding against the backdrop of troubling economic and political trends for Trump and the Republican Party. Inflation, once a strong talking point that helped Trump win the 2024 election, has now become a political liability. His approval ratings on the issue have plunged, with a dramatic shift in voter trust toward Democrats since 2022. The GOP's advantage on handling inflation has evaporated, and Democrats are now either tied or slightly ahead, a reversal that could reshape the 2026 midterms. If these trends hold, Republicans could face major losses in the House, especially if voters connect their healthcare policies to broader economic frustrations. And with inflation still ranking as the top issue for many Americans, any perception that the administration has taken its eye off the ball could prove politically devastating. And it's not just policy where this rivalry plays out. It's also personal. If Obama's tweet lit the match, Trump's latest move added fuel to the fire. In a break from tradition, Trump ordered Obama's official White House portrait to be removed from its public display. The portrait, which once greeted thousands of visitors daily, has now been relocated to the top of the grand staircase, far from public view, alongside portraits of both Bush presidents. The decision may seem symbolic, but in Washington, symbolism matters. This is not just about a picture. It's about erasing presence, rewriting narratives, and sending a message. For Trump's critics, this was another petty swipe in a long-running personal and political feud with Obama. For his supporters, it might be brushed off as insignificant. But combined with the renewed attacks on Obamacare, the portrait's removal feels like part of a broader campaign to diminish Obama's legacy. And just like the fight over healthcare, it reveals how personal rivalries can shape national policy debates in ways that affect millions. While these tensions simmer, there's a pattern worth noting: how major political controversies are often accompanied by high-profile distractions. In recent weeks, Trump has faced mounting scrutiny over the Jeffrey Epstein controversy. But instead of addressing it directly, attention has been diverted to other issues, from heavy-handed security measures in Washington, D.C., to cuts in funding for justice and violence prevention programs. The deployment of National Guard troops and federal officers in the Capitol has been framed as a crackdown on crime, but it comes alongside budget slashes that undercut the very programs designed to prevent it. Critics argue these moves are less about solving problems and more about controlling the narrative, drawing public focus away from politically damaging stories. And in the background, while Americans debate headlines about portraits and policing, quieter but more impactful policy changes, like healthcare cuts, are pushed forward with less resistance. Obama's message is clear: the fight for affordable healthcare isn't over. In fact, the threats to it are becoming more subtle, more calculated, and potentially more dangerous than ever. This is not a noisy battle fought on the floor of Congress. It's a quiet war waged in backroom deals, policy fine print, and symbolic moves that aim to weaken a legacy without the public even noticing. As Congress prepares to decide the fate of ACA subsidies, the question isn't just whether a law survives, it's whether millions of Americans will still have a lifeline when they need it most. This is about the single mother wondering if she'll still be able to take her child to the doctor. It's about the family that's one medical bill away from financial ruin. It's about hospitals on the brink and communities that can't afford to lose care. And yes, it's about the political games that decide who gets to live with dignity and who gets left behind. So, what do you think? Is this quiet dismantling of healthcare a calculated political move designed to erase a legacy, or just another evolution in policy? And more importantly, how far should personal rivalries between leaders go when the stakes are literally life and death for ordinary citizens? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The more voices speak up, the harder it is for these changes to slip through. And if you care about your wallet, your health, and your future, don't just watch. Like, share, and subscribe to African Web for more deep dives into the battles shaping our lives. Because if we're not paying attention, someone else will decide for us.